The city has over 20 million people, and it was the calmest city I've been to for years. I came to Sichuan, a province in central China, to get closer to its nature. Mountains, secluded temples, bamboo forests, that was the plan. I'm not a city person. I prefer being as close to wild nature as possible. But I also wanted to spend a few days in the capital of Sichuan, Chengdu, just to see how a Chinese megacity of 20 million people actually lives. That's why the idea of visiting a megacity felt like a real safari. Diving into a human anthill, feeling small under endless buildings, getting lost in chaotic traffic, and then escaping back into the wild with great exhale. And when I finally stepped out of the taxi after a 25-hour, three transfers flight, I was totally deafened by silence. I was standing by the road, genuinely surprised by how quiet traffic could be. No gasoline engines, no roars of muffler-free cars and motorcycles, just tires on asphalt and occasional horns. Back home, I put on headphones the moment I step outside, not because I love music too much, but because I need digital noise to protect myself from physical one. In Chengdu, most transport is electric, gasoline bikes are banned, and you can actually walk through the city or ride a shared bicycle without feeling exhausted by noise. I'm not saying that Chengdu is completely quiet. It's a living megacity rolling in its own endless cycle. But this doesn't drain you, and that's because of trees. Trees join you there everywhere. If there is no park, there is a square. If there is no square, a small garden. And if there is nothing at all, some poor thing is still growing out of drainage gate. And despite the number of high-rise buildings, you rarely feel overwhelmed by the city because many streets are planted with trees whose crowns form a thick ceiling hiding the walls. This is Asia. Cities grow out of jungles here, and jungles slowly reclaim any piece of land they can with the support of people who live there. That harmony between people and nature defines the ambience of this place. Chengdu is an ancient city, comparable to ancient Rome, by the way. But this isn't going to be a history lecture. I just want to show how nature and ancient traditions coexist with modern technology. An old man can work land that's been cultivated for 1,000 years and then walk into a library to play board games with an AI-powered robot. I actually saw that. Well, maybe not the field part, but still. Of course, I tried it myself too. I don't want to raise panic, but AI didn't give me a chance to win. But that doesn't matter. I still can unplug it. What matters is that traditions created centuries ago still live and function today, not as a decoration but as a code of life that shapes the city flow. Let me tell you a short story about how flows are shaped. It starts here in the Dujianyan area near Chengdu over 2000 years ago. The Min River, one of the major tributaries of the Yangtze, begins in this region. It's strong and powerful. Throughout Chinese history, its waters often threatened to flood the surroundings, destroying fields, villages, and entire cities. So more than 2000 years ago, King Zhao of Qin commissioned a solution. The first idea was to build a simple dam, but a dam was too simple, the authorities decided, and instead designed a sophisticated system to channel the river and irrigate the Sichuan plains. Today, it's a UNESCO protected site and a stunning place that's absolutely worth visiting. But the most important thing is that it still works today. And that's the best philosophical example of what Chengdu feels like. Like any megacity, it's chaotic, crowded, messy, and dense. But it's designed to work that way, and it's designed so you can feel comfortable inside that mess. There is one symbol you simply can't separate from Chengdu: pandas. They have the whole cult of these animals, so pandas, patterns, and images cover almost everything you can imagine: statues, hats, bags, buses, drinks, food, ads. They even made it into World of Warcraft. But here, pandas aren't just cute animals. They represent something deeply Chinese and especially Sichuanese: slowness, calm, non-aggression. Here you have a rare chance to observe these funny and magnificent animals by visiting the China Conservation and Research Center for Giant Panda. Not only giant pandas live here, known for their black and white fur, but red pandas as well. They are playful, curious, and incredibly charming. They actually look more like raccoons, but they are still a part of the panda family. Pandas look lazy, but actually they are surprisingly hardworking. Imagine how much bamboo a 100-kilogram bear has to eat every day. They are gentle, slow, and non-aggressive creatures who genuinely seem to enjoy life. It feels obvious for me that Chinese culture has learned something from pandas in its approach towards life. No offense, but some of the locals we've met were just as soft and gentle as these animals. I honestly think this lesson from pandas is crucial to why the city feels so calm for me. It's built around a symbol of softness and enjoyment, not power. For me, a trip feels incomplete if I don't meet a new people, even if it is not a friendship for life, just for one beer. I love this effect. 1 hour in a bar can tell you more about a place than a week of museums and tours. We met people from the UK, the US, Iran, who've been living here as expats for years. Of course, they all had very different backgrounds, but many of them said the same thing. Life here feels simpler, calmer, more affordable, less noisy, and less aggressive. You can feel it in how open and friendly people are. Unfortunately, it was almost impossible for me to make local friends because very few people speak English, even though it's taught in school. It's probably because the language structures are so different, just like learning Chinese is incredibly hard for us. But during the entire month, I never met an unpleasant Chinese person. No conflicts, no misunderstanding, even though I could communicate with them only with pantomime between ni hao, xie and bye bye. I don't want to praise the city here. Of course, it's not perfect. Winters are cold and humid, summers are hot and stuffy, no central heating, almost no English or other global languages, so communication barrier can be exhausting. You need to adopt to local apps and ecosystems, including constant verifications and face scans. And yes, VPN is not optional. It's not a paradise. It's a unique cultural experience, and for me, it was worth it. I came here thinking I don't belong to cities, but maybe I just didn't belong to the ones I knew. Travel is not about discovering new places on Earth. It is about discovering new versions of yourself. And sometimes you find calm exactly where you least expect it.